All right, so now we're going to use our trigonometry to find missing sides and angles. And it says if you don't check your calculators in degree mode, you're going to have a rad time. Okay, so let's talk about that because your calculator, whether it's on your phone or in the classroom, needs to be in degree mode. So when I pull up my calculator, that's going to be here. So you want to look for RAD or DEG for radians and degrees. Radians are a different measurement that we use to measure, and we're going to learn more about radians when we get to our circles unit. But for now, we need degree mode. So if I click it, that changes it to gradients, and here's the degree mode. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode or you're going to get some weird answers that you're not expecting. Okay, so degree mode. Okay, so now that our calculator is in degree mode, we want to find the missing sides of the triangle. Okay, we do have a right triangle. Okay, here is our theta. And it looks like we're being given the hypotenuse, so we do need to label our sides based on theta. And you only have to label the sides that are given and that you're trying to find. So here's theta, so I'm going to circle theta. That means x is the opposite side, so I'm going to label that opposite. And 59 is the hypotenuse side. Okay, again, you can put your hand on 35 because 35 represents our theta, and the 59 is the hypotenuse side, and the one we're not touching is the opposite side. So we can still use the hand method to identify our sides. But here I have opposite and hypotenuse. Let me write SOHCAHTOA up here because we use that mnemonic to determine which trig function we're going to use. So here's SOHCAHTOA, and I need to find the opposite side with the hypotenuse side. So opposite and hypotenuse, that's going to be our sine. So I'm going to use our sine function, and I'm going to set up our sine ratio. So we have sine, that's the trig function we're going to use. We know theta. Theta is 35 degrees. That's equal to the opposite side, which is x, equal to 59, the hypotenuse side. So this is our equation. This is how we're going to set it up. We already have the trig ratios from last week. So we have sine of 35 equals the opposite over the hypotenuse, which was labeled x, and 59. Now from here, we're going to solve for x. Sometimes a lot of people find it easier if they just put the sine over 1 and then we can cross multiply. So we get 59 sine of 35 equals, then we cross multiply the other direction, x. So this is where I need my calculator. So I have 59 times, here's my trig, I need sine, and my degree measure is 35. That did not work. Okay, let's see how this calculator works. Okay, so I'm going to do 35 sine, there's the 35 of sine, times 59. There's my answer, 33.84. Okay, so x is equal to 33.84. That's going to be yards for our units because our 59 is in yards, and that's going to be our answer. Most of the time you're going to be rounding these answers to either the tenths or the hundredths place. Okay, but what I did was cross multiply. I'm solving for x algebraically. I get 59 times the sine of 35, and as you can tell, you may have to find out how your calculator calculates these. This is just the calculator on my computer, and I had to do the 35 sine first and then multiply by 59. We do have those commutative and associative properties. Okay, problem number 2. Feel free to pause the video to write the problems down before I begin, or to pause the video to get the notes. Okay, so example number 2, My theta is 10 degrees, which means I need to identify my sides. If I put my hand over it, x is the hypotenuse, 500 is the adjacent side, and this time I have adjacent and hypotenuse. That means I'm going to be using the cosine. So I'm going to be setting up a cosine function. So we have the cosine of 10 degrees equals the adjacent side, 500 over the hypotenuse side, x. So this time my x is on the bottom. So again, if I put this over 1, I'm going to cross multiply just like I did in example 1. And I get x cosine of 10 degrees equals, and then I cross multiply the other direction. I get 500. Okay, so I do need to solve for x. X is multiplied to cosine of 10, which means the opposite is to divide. So I'm going to divide by the cosine of 10. That cancels it here. And I get x is equal to 500 over the cosine of 10. Let's see what that equals. So I'm going to bring up my calculator. Clear that last entry. I'm going to have 500 divided by, I need to put the 10 in first, then my cosine function. So 500 divided by the cosine of 10, it equals, I get 507.71. That makes sense because it's supposed to be the hypotenuse. It should be longer than 500. And our unit is feet. Okay, so one thing I want to point out about this one is we had x on the bottom here. And then what we noticed, if you'll notice here, once we solve for x, the cosine of 10 was on the bottom. So if you get this, use it. If not, solve for x. These two just switch places. When the x is on the bottom, they switched places. So if this was alone over here on the left, it switched places with the x when we solved. See, now x is by itself over here, and the cosine of 10 took its place on the bottom when we solved for it. So if you get that, you can use it. All right, so when you're solving for the side, you're just going to set up the ratio and solve for x like we do algebraically. So you can see these are the two types of problems you're going to have. When you cross multiply, you're going to be multiplying the side by the trig function, or you're going to be dividing the side by the trig function. Next. Again, feel free to pause to write these down. Find the missing angles. So now we can also find the angles that are missing. So in example 3, theta is going to be x, and I do need to identify the sides based on theta. So if I put my hand on x, that means I'm only covering up the, well, I'm covering up the hypotenuse, but that's not, doesn't have a number. I'm covering the bottom, so this side is going to be the adjacent side, and then the side I'm not touching is going to be the opposite side. So this is going to, 3 is going to be opposite, and oh, the whole length is 12 at the bottom, not the piece I need. So the piece I need is going to be half of 12 because these are marked evenly. So the adjacent side is going to equal 6. All right, so now I've got my opposite and adjacent side, and I need SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Want to write that at the top. SOHCAHTOA. So I need opposite and adjacent. Opposite and adjacent, that's going to be my tangent function. All right, so I'm going to have the tangent of x degrees. Still writing that same ratio, opposite over adjacent. So that's going to be 3 over 6. All right, so the tangent and the x, they're connected. So I have to do the opposite function of tangent. this is where the laws of exponents are going to come in again and play a role. This tangent of x is really tangent to the first power. We don't always write it because it's to the first power. Okay? Now, in order for it to go away, I need tangent to the 0th power. If you look down here, laws of exponents, tangents, anything to the 0th power is going to be 1. So, I need to change this tangent to the first power to the tangent of the 0th power. And the way to do that is through the law of exponents again, because if I multiply powers, I add the exponents. So, we are going to do the inverse tangent, tangent to the -1. Of the tangent, remember that one's to the first power. And of course, whatever we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So I have to take the inverse tangent of the 3/6. Okay, so now what happens is I'm going to take these exponents. Power times a power means I add them. And now I get tangent to the 0th power. That cancels them out. Okay, that's how I get my x by itself. And I'm taking the inverse tangent of 3/6. Now we need our calculator. Now we're going to find out what x is. So bring your calculator up. And I need the inverse tangent. So there's the second button, and all of those should have that -1. So I need the inverse tangent, but I think I probably needed to put my 3/6 in there first. Let's see. Yep. I need my 3/6 in there first. Then I need the inverse tangent. There's my second button, inverse tangent. Yep. Oops, it divided it by 6. I did not want that. All right, so 3/6, second tangent, it's 26.57. 26.57. That's the degree measure. That's how many degrees are in that triangle. Okay, so once again, we are using laws of exponents here. We are taking this tangent function, and it's to the first power, and I need to cancel it out. So we're doing laws of exponents. When you multiply a power to a power, you add the exponents. Well, -1 plus 1 is 0, so that's applying this one. That the laws of exponents, anything to the 0th power is 1. That's what cancels it out. That's what leaves me with x. But whatever I do on one side of the equation, I have to do on the other. So I have to take the inverse tangent on the other side as well. All right, so I'm going to stop this video here and start a new one for example 4.